Hey, coaches, just want to go over some thoughts I had on defense, um, particularly this season with the last couple of years of experience, just seeing what's worked, what hasn't worked. And I've gotten the pleasure to watch a lot of huddle film from all our teams and see what other teams are doing. And I just had some thoughts I want to share about how to run a zone defense with the rookie tackle headed flag um, concepts, um, and see what you think. So, if there's any kind of twins, slot, receiver, here's what I'm thinking to do for it. Depending on your pen flag league, I can't remember if they can do a 2 technique or a 3 technique, but I would call this Texas because we have twins, and we'll just kind of check it each time. So I'll have a 2 technique to the strong side, a 3 technique away. Should we call it 23? Um, in our middle linebacker, called M for Mike, and an S for Sam. Okay? Anytime we have twins, he's going to be in the middle, and the Sam will cover number 2 receiver. Wherever he is, he'll be over him. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have, I don't think we need 3 deep. And our field's so narrow, I just think having 3 deep is you're giving up too much. So we're going to have 2 half players. We're going to have our free safety 10 yards deep over here. And then he's going to have this half of the field. And our weak side corner, I'm going to have him about 8 yards, or 7 to 8 yards off. And about 2 to 3 yards wide, so he's got contained. He's going to have this half of the field. All right. Now in this formation, his only real threat, his number 1 receiver is lined up here as a tailback. He could be here as a halfback, fix that halfback. Could be a tight end or a tight slot. Anytime there's someone tight, he'd be that alignment. And then our corner over here would be here. So it'd be really a cover 2. I call it cover 32 where I came from, but he would have this flat. He's going to say cloud. Anytime he has a flat, he's going to say cloud, cloud, cloud. Okay? This player is going to have the seam, right? So he's going to do, if number 2 goes vertical, he's going to jam him. He's 4 yards off. He's going to jam number 2 vertical, and then he's going to sink to the seam. All right, now he has a flat player, so he knows he's got help on the outside. And then Mike has the middle. All right, so if he reads pass, he just has a short middle right there. You know, in this defense, the benefit is if they run any kind of sweep, now we have a hard corner. We really think have them outnumbered on the strong side. And if they run any kind of, running back in the flat, we saw some of our games, we gave that up quite a bit in our defense. So if it's man-to-man and these guys run in, that's hard for him to come out there and cover him. And we have over top, right? So this guy's also going to jam. He's going to be lined up outside, probably 1 yard outside, and he's going to, not allow any outside release. Right? He's got to jam number 1 if he goes vertical. If he goes inside, he's just going to kind of sit there and wait. And ideally, he'd look at number 2. If number 2 goes vertical, he can sink a little bit, right? If he runs a flag, he can help out over top as long as nobody is coming into his flat. So you could look at number 2 and number 3 as he's kind of just squatting there. Just kind of, let's have him hop in place, all right? And jam or just kind of see what happens to stay in the flat, looking for number 2 or number 3 coming into him. Now the weakness is this, is we're giving up flat over here. So we don't have a flat player on the weak side. And we're going to have strengths and weaknesses to every defense. The way they're going to hurt us is if they sent him in the flat, him over top there. Ideally, he would, if he can, stay over top of that, play the deep, and we're going to give this a short flat route. All right, so I'd rather give up the short flat route and rally, make a tackle. And I like to have this guy in the 3 technique. That way, just there's more, if he boots or anything, any kind of counters, he's kind of there for that, along with the corner. The Mike is just reading. right? So all these guys are just gonna hop and read, run or pass. If it's run, they're gonna do their thing. Pass, they got their zones. All right, now, if I can't remember padded flag, if he has to line up over the center, rookie tackle, he doesn't. You just have to have one player 10 yards off wherever. Maybe you could, if your rules do make you line here, you could bail at the snap, which would be a little tough. But some other things, if number 2 is out here wide, and that Sam's going to maybe be inside shade so he can still play run, he knows he has help out here. All right. A couple of other situations. So we'd roll Texas, we'd say Roger or Louie, right? So the free safety, right? It's twins left, or slot, right? You'd say Louie, 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 Texas, Texas, Texas. The Roger to the right. Now, if they come out and open, the rules are going to be the same. We still have a twins receiver. We want to keep the checks really simple. We see any kind of twins, we're going to say Texas, 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 right? T for twins. This would be, Louie for our defense. 2 technique, 3 technique, Mike, 3 safety, Sam, corner. Now this corner, if he has a wide number 1 receiver, all right, he's just going to be over here, slide outside shade, 8 yards off. All right. Basically, he's going to have him man-to-man. Want to stay deep in case he gets some kind of drag. You can play with this. You can maybe have him halfway between the guard and number 2. That's probably where I would put him. We also, if there's any kind of run in the middle or weak side, we don't want him so far over that he can't help out and be a cutback player. So again, strengths and weaknesses to that is that weak side. Run with the free safety over top. So we got to keep him somewhere there. Now, so that'll work for any kind of twin set. I'll just in the huddle call this coverage check. Coverage check. Ready? Break. I'm checking on Texas if there's any twins. Now if we get this, we get like a pro look. We got a receiver on both sides. Could be a pistol. It could be a sidecar. Doesn't matter as long as there's 1 running back, 2 receivers. We'll call Ohio. We're going to stack our backers. We'll be double 2 technique. There's no strength really, so we're not going to call Roger or Louie. Let's call Ohio. Which would be a 22 defense, both in 2 techniques. Free safety is going to be in the middle now. Corner, corner. He has a half. He has that half. Our Mike and our Sam are going to be stacked on the outside eye. Sam, Mike. All right, so he has his half. He is going to have this seam to curl. Now we don't have flat players over here. All right, so if a linebacker doesn't hear cloud, that means he doesn't have help. He's going to run to the seam. All right, if he runs a flat route, hey, we're going to give him that, and we'll just rally to the flat leg. So we want to get a little depth on a pass and come here. This Mike over here, this linebacker has seam to flat. He doesn't have number 2 receiver. He does, right? So if he did do something like that, still want to get a jam if you can on the vertical to help out. And we need a middle player, right? So our middle player is going to be our free safety. He's going to be a deep middle. Like they have him hop up and 9 yards on the snap, on the balls of the feet, and he's almost like your inside linebacker, really deep. He'd be at a pass. He'd be our middle player, and then you kind of run, and you got really a 3rd linebacker helping you out. All right, so you can kind of triangulate, and compress run plays here. And again, if there's any kind of sweep with this alignment with the outside here, he's able to take away sweeps, and he can take away anything in the middle with our double 2 technique. One other situation. any kind of two back set. Do the split on first. Let's say it's an I formation. So I call this a bear check. We double two techniques. We have our Mike. We have our Sam to the strong side. We have our weak side corner over here. We could get a Roger Louie or a Ripper Liz or anything you want to use. Any RL term really doesn't really matter to me. You can call it something different, doesn't matter to me either. And our free safeties here, 10 yards deep. What we're going to do is we're going to have our corner. Your corner is allowed, if it's a split end or tight end, he can be 1 yard off hard. He's going to be man to man. Maybe a little bit of outside shade, right? He's got him. Put your best kid out here. And then you have seam, right, to curl, seam to curl, middle player, and he's got a free safety, right? So you can have him just hop up to 9 yards, be an extra linebacker. If it's third and short, third and regular. If it's like the third, in this instance, like third and long, fourth and long, you can have him, back pedal and bail. Kind of up to you. But I just like him being an extra linebacker. You have an extra guy kind of come in. If it's like an ISO out here, boom, he can hit it and he can kind of be there for cutback. All right. So call it bear check. If they were in a tight end situation, you can keep your corner here, and you're good. Right? If you want, you can kind of bump your Sam out a little bit, or if you want, you can put your Sam down here. Let them have some fun, and then your corner could be here. As long as you have a seam to flat player, middle player, I think you're pretty sound, and you just got that kind of extra run support guy to help on the power stuff. So there's some concepts to add a zone defense. I know that we faced a one zone defense last year, and it really messed with us. Having that corner and the safety over the top and the seam player really made things interesting. So if you want to play with that, go ahead.